my channel, Pretty Inspired Decor. My name is Shelly, and this is part one of our Hello Spring for Spring and Easter 2020. And of course, I started decorating where I almost always start decorating, which is in our kitchen window. And the reason I'm calling this series Hello Spring is because I've had enough of winter. I want to welcome spring with open arms into our home, even though we are currently getting snow today that's supposed to last for a few days, so it can do whatever it wants outside, because in our home, it is spring. So when we started to take a look at decorating this window, I actually started with the Hello Spring sign. Now this particular sign, I bought at Michael's. And when I looked at it, not only did I think it was pretty, all in my colors of pink with just a little bit of blue, now that we're going to have yet another grand sun, I just thought it's perfect. It would look great in the window. And then, because, you know, in the past you have seen that I have hung Easter eggs in the window, but I really wanted to switch things up this year. I found these little gems at Home Sense here in Canada, and I thought they're so pretty. The detail on them and the shimmer on them were just, you know, absolutely delightful. And I knew that they would work well with what I already had, which are these large encrusted eggs. They're encrusted with beads. They're just so pretty. I thought, well, that'll be perfect together. And then, you know, because I like to have some dimension and some texture in this window, I added these really inexpensive little wreaths from the dollar store. I've had these for years. I haven't even been to the dollar store yet to look at any Easter stuff, so I don't know if they still have them. But again, that's why I put everything away. I pack everything carefully so that I can reuse things. And this Be Our Guest sign, I bought that last year at Michael's on the after Easter sale. I think I paid like $1.30 or something for it. It was ridiculous. It was regularly $14, but you know, at the very end of the season, you get stuff at Michael's for next to nothing. And I thought, well, that's perfect. You know, right in front of our kitchen table, where of course we will be celebrating some birthdays and Easter as well for this spring season. On my two-tiered tray, and some of you have been asking, you know, where I bought it, and I did buy this particular, or my husband actually bought this for me at a store called Bowering in Canada, but that store no longer exists. I have managed to find another source online, and I've given it to one of my viewers. And if you are interested, just leave me a message and I'll tell you where that particular source is. And I have no idea of the quality, but I did find one that looks very, very similar. And they actually have a number of them. What you have to Google is pastry stands, because that's actually what this is. It's meant to be a pastry stand that goes into a window. So on this two-tiered pastry stand that I never use for food, I just only use decor, you'll notice we have lots and lots of bunnies. Because, you know, bunnies are all about the season, and our grandbabies just love bunnies. So they haven't seen this yet, and I know they'll be absolutely intrigued. I have a matching set here of teapots and cookie jars and vases, and I thought, often I've put those in our dining room, but I thought this year I really want to bring in the pinks and the purples and make all of that work together. So this one is sitting on a cake tray, beautiful, and then again just put one of those wreaths underneath it to bring some of that texture down in here, and then added the other pieces throughout the space. And then just added some more florals. Remember, I did this one for Valentine's Day. Switched up the love sign for the Hello Spring sign to give a little bit of height in there. And everything else just sort of pops in with some pretty little Easter eggs and some other delightful things as well. I always decorate the base of the tray because of course, you know, to me, it's not just a 2-tier tray, there's all of this. So I like to put some fun things in here. I wanted to take the florals that I used to have in our living room and bring those in here, really to bring everything soft and pretty and pink. You know, so for this part of our decorating, I'm really going with the softer colors again. I haven't fully decided what I'm doing in the rest of the house. I do know our family room is just going to be a menagerie of fun, because that's where we have our Easter egg hunt with our little ones. So I hope you come back and look at that, because it's I've started it and it's really turning out to be quite fun and quite pretty. But I wanted this year I decided that I would anchor both this and the other side with florals. And you know, this particular vase, this vase on this side came from HomeSense a number of years ago. But the vase over here, you can currently get at Michael's. It's a tin vase. It's really nice. And of course, fits in my pinks. They have them in blue and white as well. It's a really nice vase, and they're not very expensive, especially if you use your Michael's coupon. I really hope that you feel welcome, and I wish that you could be our guest in our home for this Easter season and this spring season. I just get such joy decorating our home for Easter and spring, because everything lightens up, everything becomes, you know, fun and whimsical, and it's really meant to bring joy to both the adults and the children in our lives. When people come to visit, they get a smile on their face, and they enjoy it as much as Harold and I do, because we may live alone, but we always have people here for a visit. Before you get a final zoomed in look at how pretty all of this is, if you have not already done so, I would really appreciate it if you hit that bell and subscribe to my channel, and really hit the notification bell as well, so that you get notification of my future Easter spring videos. I've got lots of really pretty things planned, and I think you are going to enjoy them. Leave me a comment and share this video with people who love to decorate as much as we do. So until next Friday, when you're going to see how I have decorated 2 different mantles in 2 very different ways, I hope you enjoy it. Bye-bye.